So that's something I feel like I should talk about right now, and it's really in my best interest to sort of like bring it up because no one else is going to. So there's this thing discussion about this Mega Man X drama. WQ had a stream about this whole drama shit, and you're putting the blame on Zero.com. Really, it's really just ridiculous at this point. I know the blame does have to go to it's like a community thing, but unfortunately, this is probably like the way like people perceive and think now, and I mean, I get it's ridiculous. I get it's really stupid how they like have like this sort of bias, but it's unfortunately going to be like that for a lot of the big leaderboards. Like four stars, it really isn't going to be affected as much. But as long as you're not communicating a Discord server or something like that, or like the game is very small, I don't think it's really going to matter all that much. And I feel like the Mega Man X sort of time and, Monsieur.com being a thing, it makes World Record official. And this is why I think World Records on a speedrun website, on one site, is just arbitrary and stupid as fuck. I made this point on Twitter against WQ saying, defining world records on one site is both beyond arbitrary and fucking garbage. See what I was talking about? I said this 3 fucking years. And yes, I did say this 3 years ago. I did say this is garbage and it's pointless. And I'm like, even if there's a perfect solution, no perfect solution will exist because no one will agree upon the solution because humans are fucking stupid. I'm one, I know people. But I said no person because I couldn't fit the rest on Twitter in the 140 character limit. So what I mean by that is there's not going to be a perfect solution because there'll always be somebody who would disagree with you. And that's a lot of the issue, right? There's a lot of people in the world that would disagree with you. And that's just the way it is. People will always do that. They're going to disagree no matter what you do. There's always going to be that asshole or that asshat that's going to say, hey, this is bullshit. We want to do it our way. Or whatever it is. And that's the issue, right? There isn't going to be really no one-man solution or one-man-fits-all latex glove. There isn't that for speedrun.com. And there isn't that in the real world either because people have different hands. One may be deformed, one have 10 fingers, one may have 7 fingers or whatever. There's no perfect solution for one problem. It may seem like there is, but for everyone else, sometimes that may not be convenient for them. For me, for example, I couldn't, like, if I'm streaming a 3DS game, who in the hell is going to watch a 3DS? One, the capture card, and two, the webcam pointing at the screen. Like, that's fucking, no, it's stupid. No, dude. And another thing, there is tons of games that may share, oh yeah, you have the controller cam. Like, yeah, that would work for a practical console setup, like Link to the Past, or like all the, like, games that require a controller or, like, a keyboard to press. But the issue is with 3DS, you gotta plug it in, you gotta have it modded, you gotta plug it into the thing, and there's a lot of things you can sort of cheat the system with, even with all those rule sets. You can have a task thing in the thing, and you could just look like you're playing, but even then, you could sort of like hide it. But even then, people will catch you, but I mean, there's still gonna be always that call out, that bullshit that people talk about on these websites. And that's my problem with the website. There's not really any accountability. Like, one central hub that people that have like a brain and have common sense and sort of believe in a neutral fact and have like a common sense, like WQ or like Z-Wing or something, or like someone who has like an actual like sane brain. No offense, but what I'm saying is I'm not saying you're all stupid that manage your leaderboards or whatever, but we need some sort of like 12 chain, like the Kingdom Hearts shit with the fucking 12 chain. It's like tell people they're like part of like a division and they sort of like do certain things. And I think if we have like people who are in charge of everything, like a bunch of people who have that can actually go around and check and watch all the people on the leaderboards. Because see, the problem is if we don't have that and there's like bosses around, people think, oh shit, I'm gonna get caught for doing something bad. So I better be fucking careful because I might get in trouble. And this is what I'm talking about with the whole watch thing. You must watch what you say thing. Because if the mods do something that the mods don't like, they're going to have to answer them or lie to them. And, as the people say, the people that will police it, they'd be in those community discords and they'll be able to see what's going on with a common sense and brain and the bullshit that is going on, and then they can get rid of those people that do that stupid shit. And that's kind of the problem. We have no bunch of people that can police everything, because there is nobody that can do that. It's the only way we think say what WQ wants to do. WQ's like a one-man person. He's trying to show it. He's trying to show their stories and all that, but that's not really enough to solve really a major problem. And the major problem is just there's not enough people to police the whole site and all the communities, because there's so many of them. There's over 1,000 plus communities in this website. The big ones like Minecraft, Super Mario 64, Mega Man X, fucking Sonic. We need those. We need the big games getting all attention, like Celeste and all that stuff, like Sonic. The people the games give a shit about, and that's what we need. We need a policing system for all that, because we can't just have one policing system and it not work. And that's the issue right now, right? There's not really enough people to sort of do that. There's not enough people to police all those popular games. There's 20 or 30 so popular games. Probably more. Pokemon Candy Discord. There's so many games in that. There's Kirby. Kirby's semi-popular. Mario Randomizer, all the randomizer communities, all that shit. And see, that's the problem. We have no big brains or big bosses that manage the entire site. We have one guy, I think, who is a big boss. And we have content mods, but we don't really have something that kind of watches over the communities to see if they're not abusing their power or whatever like that. We don't have we have things in our country that sort of say, oh, President, you can't do this shit because that would get you in trouble. None of that shit. No, Mr. President. That's overboard. We veto your shit. We don't have a vetoing system for all those people that make those dumb decisions. Stuff like that. That's the stuff we need. But we don't have that because speedrun.com is run by people who, don't really know how to be a boss. No offense. They really don't know how to boss or give make the right calls and all that. And I think that's kind of the issue. We have no really a bunch of people that can do that. And adding a content mod alone to do that is a lot of work. We need people that have a understanding in psychological behavior, and people who have both an understanding of the new and old mindsets of thinking, and a lack of those two parties things, and have and has an actual sort of common sense judgment that can say, hey, no, this is stupid. Why are you doing this shit? What the fuck? Something like that. We need people that can do that. And the problem is there isn't really anybody willing to do that, because there isn't really a party willing to go out of their way and do that. And because there's no police, or community police, I should say, not thought police. Don't get anything. Don't do I think you're going to think of saying. I'm not saying there should be thought police. I believe there needs to be a neutral side, or that there's monitoring the community have thoughts like WQ and seeing when they put these people in a fucking check. Just like America, there are things that people put in check or put in place so this shit doesn't happen. And this shit happened, so we need people that can sort of put these people in their place. They say, hey, you can't ban that people for that reason. That reason's fucking stupid. Why are you doing that? We need people like that to sort of do that for all the communities that are popular. I'm not saying none of the other popular communities get it, but let's someone reach a certain threshold of community members, or quote unquote community members, or whatever the fuck their clique is called. We need people to watch it and make sure they're not abusing it or doing some sort of bullshit. But we also need those people that sort of have a brain and doesn't think like those guys. We need people that we can certainly guarantee we need a system, that can lock these idiots from doing all this false banning and stuff like that. And at least we need somebody to put these people in line and say, hey, you can't ban them for that. that isn't against the speedrun.com rules. We need a system in place or judges to take action. It's people who both think on both sides, a balance between both thoughts and both psychological. They understand both psychological mindsets. The one between like me and WQ Z Wings or somebody, that has a good psychological background and has a neutral mind, and it's like, nah, this is stupid. Fuck that. We need that. That's what we need for the site, because right now there isn't any, and because there isn't any, there isn't a way to combat these idiots that are going to ban for these dumb fucking reasons. And that's the issue. We don't have a way to combat these idiots. And no offense, but you're idiots. I'm sorry. Like, if you want to ban me for that, whatever. But the way these people have been banning people, it's been really fucking stupid. It's really dumb. Like, it's absolutely the dumbest shit ever. Like, it's stupid. Like, it's really dumb. It's... Here, but every day on fucking WQ's channel, I just wish something new was done. I wish something new was... a new development, like... a piece of positive news. And, I feel like if WQ watches this video, they'll sort of think the same thing. We kind of need actual people, even people who have, like, psychological background, think a neutral mindset, and can call them out on their bullshit. We need people like that. And we don't have people like that because nobody has that kind of background, because we're all, like, people from college. We need, like, people that, can put these people down, or put these people in their place, say, hey, that's a bunch of bullshit. I want you to unban him and put his times back, or whatever. And, there's a certain degree to where they can dictate how much a thing. I mean, I feel like there needs to be some sort of policing of these communities, because nothing's ever going to get resolved otherwise. Anyway, that's what I think about the whole thing. I feel like that would be... Well, I know I said it more than once, but like I said, I just want to get that, like... It's just enough. Like, I'm enough of this drama. I want people to sort of police the site and sort of actually do something about the problems we have on the site. And maybe, as an older patron of Serum.com, was a donor at one point, I feel really there needs to be some sort of, like, actual policing and trying to fix the website. And, that has a very smart psychological background who's, like, I'm not saying older gentleman, it could be, like, any gentleman. It could be a woman, it could be a man, anything. Like, whatever, it can be whatever you want it to be. But as long as they're not, like, stupid, the weirdos like that, that manage some of these communities. But, anyway, I feel the more we get on it, the more we get on this sooner than later, I feel like this will be the ultimate solution. That, everyone can agree upon, everybody's watching you, the boss is watching you. But we need a boss or people that have different thoughts or have their own opinions and won't be swayed by the community's opinions. We need people that have brains, or, have a lack for a better term, intelligence. Thank you for watching this video, and if I sent this to you thinking this is kind of like an idea that we can propose to the site. We kind of need, like, people like that, that can, sort of reason with these people, say, hey, this isn't okay, you shouldn't do that. We need people have a neutral mindset. Anyway, thank you all for listening, and yeah, I'm going to stop the video here. Peace.